Hello everyone, a very good morning and welcome to this live session on quantitative aptitude for your upcoming IBPS RRB, PO and Clerk mains examination, right? The RRB Officer Scale 1 and RRB Office Assistants main examination, which are scheduled on 30th of September and I guess 14th October, if the dates are correct, right? So we are here to help you out with your preparation. Well, I'm sure the fact that you have already cleared the preliminary examination tells us that you are well aware of the concepts and you're thorough with all the basics, right? It's just that you have to fine tune your preparation in line with the main examination pattern. Now for both office assistants as well as officers scale 1, the pattern is the same. You've got 5 sections: quantitative aptitude, reasoning ability, English language, general and banking awareness, and computer awareness, right? You've got 40 questions per section, and I think you can score 50 marks in aptitude and reasoning, quantitative aptitude and reasoning, and 40 marks in English and general awareness, and 20 marks in computer awareness. So overall, you're going to face 200 questions across the 5 sections. Maximum that you can score is 200 marks. Of course, higher weightage goes for aptitude and reasoning and a little lower weightage for computer awareness, and you have 2 hours of time. So what is important is that, now that you've cleared your prelims exam, you should take as many mock tests as possible in the main examination pattern and get yourself tuned to it, right? You should be able to attempt as many questions as possible. In fact, you should be able to attempt 200 questions in that limited 2 hours of time, right? Questions are usually very easy, right? And RRB, IBPS RRB exams, the questions are not like very difficult, easy to solve, but you have to be really quick, right? And I think especially when it comes to the quantitative aptitude section, you have to be really quick with numbers, right? You can maximize your score here, right? There will be 40 questions. You can score 50 marks, and then you can score maximum out of it only if you are very good with numbers, right? And the only way to get good with numbers is to practice as much as you can, right? I've always told in every live session that I take, especially for quantitative aptitude, my funda is the same always, right? What does it? Play with numbers, right? If you cannot multiply 36 and 54 without paper, then you're not fit for these exams, right? If you cannot find out what is going to be the compound interest for 2 years, if the rate of interest is 5% per annum without putting pen on paper, then you're not fit for this exam, right? If you cannot find out what is going to be 16% of 2,400, or for that matter 3,250, without putting pen on paper, then you're not fit for this exam. I don't want to demotivate you guys, but believe me, the competition is always huge, and the only way to beat the competition and get ahead is to behave differently, right? You cannot be doing everything on paper like the majority and expect yourself to get fabulous results, right? It is not likely to happen. So guys, the idea is very simple: practice on numbers so that you can maximize your score in quantitative aptitude. Okay, now what are we going to do in this session today is solve questions from aptitude, quantitative aptitude, those typical questions that we get in RRB PO, RRB Officer Scale 1 and RRB Office Assistants exams, right? So I've got a list of questions here. These questions have been chosen from our All India mock exam, which was conducted last weekend, right? And other practice papers that we have. So I'll present the questions to you one after the other and then give you some time to try it out, post which we will discuss the solution. Okay, should we start? All right, so let me quickly present the first question to you all. And that is on your screens here. Questions are actually easy. Avoid writing pen, on paper, right? You will get the answers without doing much of paperwork, and I think that's what you should try to focus on, right? Getting the right answer is not important. Getting the answer without doing unnecessary stuff is what is going to matter here. So the first question on your screens now. Look at this. What does it say? Average of X observations. Average of X observations is 30. Average of X other observations is 33. And the average of remaining X observations is 42. Average of all the observations is. Tell me what's going to be the answer. I think this is a 10-second problem, right? It should not take more than 10 seconds for you to crack this. Your clock starts now. Okay, answers have started coming in. While many of you have marked option 4 cannot be determined, I can see Imranul, Chris Gale, and Vijay Lakshmi, and Nayak and others marking option 4. But let me tell you, cannot be determined is not the answer, right? Your understanding, I assume, is that x is not known to us, right? The value of x is not known to us, and that is the reason answer cannot be determined. But let me tell you guys, the x variable here is common in both numerator and denominator, and that gets cancelled, right? I'll tell you how to deal with this. He says average of x observations is 30. So what is the sum of those 30 observations? See, an observation here is nothing but number, right? Value. So there are 30, x values, average is 30. So what will be the sum of those x values? 30x. You know that sum is equal to average into the number of observations, so 30x. Similarly, there are another x observations and their average is 33. So what is the sum of those observations? 33x, right? Average into the number of observations. And likewise, in the last case, it is going to be 42x. So we know the sum of first x values, the sum of second set of x values, and the sum of third set of x values. The total of all these is going to be 30x plus 33x plus 42x. Now he's asking us to get the sum of, the average of all observations. What is average? Average is equal to total of all the values divided by total number of values. Sum of all the values, which is 30x plus 33x plus 42x divided by all the values. What is the total number of values? X plus x plus x. Yes or no? X plus x plus x. 3x. Simplify this now. So 30 plus 33 plus 42, or maybe you know that the denominator is going to be 3x. See, x anyway gets cancelled. So overall what you're left with is 30 plus 33 plus 42 divided by 3. Right? 63 plus 42 is 105. 105x divided by 3x. So x and x gets cancelled. 105 by 3 is 35. So your answer to this question has to be option 2, 35. Option 2, 35 is the answer. A very simple question. Sum of all the values by the number of values is going to be the average. Let me take up the next question. The next question is on your screens here. Due to reduction by 10% in the price of sugar, right? Due to reduction by 10% in the price of sugar, a person is able to buy 2 kg more for rupees 480. Find the reduced rate per kg of sugar. Find the reduced rate per kg of sugar. Again, interesting question and a popular question actually, right? We have faced such questions many times in the past. So you should know how to crack this. Again, I would say not more than 10 seconds. In fact, lesser than that. Due to reduction of 10% the price of sugar, a person is able to buy 2 kg more for rupees 480. What is the reduced price per kg of sugar is the question. I can see many of you marking the answer as option 3, rupees 24 per kg. Mahavir on the other hand has got 40 per kg, which is option 2. Yeah, and there are others also who've got 40 as the answer here. Well, time is up. Answer has to be 24, and this is one such question where you need not put pen on paper. Ideally by the time you finish reading the question, you should know what the answer is. Understand the simple funda. What does it say? Due to reduction by 10% in the price of sugar, a person is able to buy 2 kg more for rupees 480. So what is the scenario? Let's say I am the person. When I spend 480 rupees, I get some quantity of sugar, right? If I pay 480 rupees to the shopkeeper, to the vendor, I get some quantity of sugar. But when the price of sugar dropped by 10%, when there was a reduction of 10% in the price, I could buy 2 kg more for the same amount of rupees 480. So whatever I had spent earlier, if I spend again, I'll get 2 kg extra. Why will I get 2 kg extra? How will I get it? Because the price has dropped now. So I'm able to buy more, right? So what is the new price? What is the reduced price per kg is the question. What is the new price? Simple. Understand, ideally what should I do? If the price is reduced, I'll say, boss, give me my... I'll pay 10% less. I have to pay 10% less. 10% of what? 480 rupees. What is 10% of 480? 48 rupees. So ideally, I should be saving 48 rupees. Okay, when the price has dropped by 10%, I will save 10% of 480 rupees, which is 48 rupees. But instead of saving this 48 rupees, what did I tell the shopkeeper? Give me whatever sugar you can give for this price, for this amount. So for that 48 rupees, he gave me 2 kgs of sugar, which means the price of 2 kgs of sugar is rupees 48. So what is the price of 1 kg of sugar? What is the price per kg? 48 by 2, 24 rupees per kg. As simple as that. Remember, what you get here is the reduced price, right? 48 rupees for 2 kgs is the new price, the new calculation, right? Sometimes they may ask you to find out the original price, where one more step will be involved, right? But here it is the reduced price, the new price. So simply, I have saved 48 rupees, and for those 48 rupees, I could buy 2 kg more. Meaning the price of 2 kgs of sugar is 48 rupees now. So for 1 kg, it will be 24 rupees, and that's your answer. Option 3, without having to put pen on paper. Let's go to the next one. Option 3 is the answer, right? All those who have got 40 rupees per kg, some of you have also got 20 rupees per kg are incorrect. Okay, take the next one now. Here's the next question. Rishi spends 40% of his salary on house rent. On remaining 10% he spends on travel. On remaining 16 2/3% spends on food, and the remaining is saved. If he saved 2250, what amount did he spend on food? Now this is, a question on, salary spent, but actually all you have to do is just play with those numbers. Got the answer? 450. Okay, I think you will need a little more time in this one. 450 is what Nilab and Shubham have got, and Sivapriya has also got 450, waiting for others. Many others have actually got 450. Mahavir, Trivedi, Sharmila, Pravi. Okay, here we go. So what does it say? Rishi spends 40% of his salary on house rent. On remaining 10% he spends on travel. Of remaining 16 2/3% is spent on food, and the remaining is saved. If he saved rupees 2250, what amount did he spend on food, right? How much did he spend on food? Simple. The salary is 100%. Total is always 100%. Now how much did he spend on house rent? On the house rent he had spent 40%. If 40% is spent, the remaining is 60%. So on that remaining, out of that remaining, 10% was spent on travel. So how much did he spend on travel? 10%. 10% of what? 60%. You understand? If 40% is spent, remaining is 60%. Right? Out of 100, 40 is spent, remaining is 60%. Now from this 60%, 10% on travel. So 10% of 60% is what? 6%. Understand? Out of 60%, 6% has been spent. So what is remaining now? 54% is remaining. Whatever I'm putting in brackets here is the remaining amount, right? Next comes the spend on food. How much is that? 16 2/3. 16 2/3, 16.66%, right? So on food he has spent 16.66, which is 1/6. 16.66% in terms of fraction is 1/6. 1/6 of what? The remaining amount. Remaining is 54%. 1/6 of 54% is 9%. Right? So how much is remaining now? From 54, 9% is spent. Remaining is 45%. Right? And then he says whatever is left out, remaining is saved. So saving is how much? Saving is straight 45%. Right? You're getting it. So out of 100% that he had earned, he spent 40% on house rent. Remaining is 60. Out of that 60, 10%. 10% of 60 is 6% was spent on travel. Remaining is 60 minus 6, 54. Then on food he has spent 1/6 of this remaining 54, which comes out to be 9%. So now the remaining amount with him is 54% minus 9%, which is 45. That is nothing but his savings. Now if he saved 2250, Meaning this 45% is equivalent to 2250. If you save 2250, what amount did he spend on food? How much did he spend on food? This is equal to what? This is not the bracketed value, this value. You understand? So now simple calculation that you need to do is, if 45% of whatever the total salary is equivalent to 2250, 9% is equivalent to what? If 45% is 2250, 9% is equivalent to what? Cross multiply, you will get the answer as option 4, 450. Right? 45% is 2250, then 9%. By 5, divide by 5 actually. See, 45% by 5 will give you 9%. So 2250 by 5, 450. Option 4 would be the answer. Okay? Let's take up the next one. Here's the next question. Again, a very simple one. Cut down the number of steps that you put on paper. Should automatically get very easy. What does it say? The ages of two persons differ by 12 years. If 4 years ago the elder one be 3 times as old as the younger one, find the present ages in years. Now the best way to answer questions from ages, related to ages, would be to deal with options, right? Certain conditions will be given to you in the questions. Just see which options satisfy those conditions. What is the first condition? The ages of two persons differ by 12 years, meaning the difference of the ages should be 12 years. He's asking us to find the present ages, right? Now check in which option is the difference 12 years. 12 and 24, difference is 12, satisfies. 10 and 22, the difference is 12, satisfies. 15 and 27, difference is 12, satisfies. 17 and 29 also, the difference is 12. So this condition is satisfied by all the 4 options. So we'll have to check the second condition. Now what is the second condition? If 4 years ago, the elder one be 3 times the younger one. The elder one was 3 times as old as the younger one. Meaning, if you go back 4 years, then the elder person was 3 times as old as the younger person. What are the present ages? Now understand that the question here is about present ages. What is the present ages? Meaning all the options here have got their present ages. All the options here are with respect to their present ages. So if the present ages are 12 and 24, what will be the ages 4 years ago? 8 and 20. Yes or no? Minus 4, minus 4. Present age is 12, 4 years ago 8 years. Present age is 24, 4 years ago 20 years. Similarly, if the present ages are 10 and 22, what will be the ages 4 years ago? 6 and 18. 10 minus 4, 22 minus 4. Here it will be 11 and 23 and so on. What we know is 4 years ago, one person's age was 3 times the second person's age. One person's age was 3 times the second person's age. Check. Is 23 times 8? No. Is 18 3 times 6? Yes. Option 2 is the answer. 18 is equal to 6 into 3. 23 and 11, the ratio is not 3:1, right? It's not 3 times. So option 2, 6 and 18 will be your answer. Okay. So do not write any steps. Do not try to write those equations unless it is really required. See, the same question can also be solved by writing 2 equations. Elder person's age is E years. Younger person's age is Y years. So E minus Y equals to 12. E minus 4 is equal to 3 times of Y minus 4. And then maybe you can solve those 2 equations. But why do we have to do that? It's not required at all. Just play with the options and find out which one satisfies. Okay. Take the next one. The salaries of Ramu, Raju and Raghu are in the ratio of 2:3:5. If the increments are 15%, 10% and 20% on their salaries, what will be the new ratio? Simple, just increase the respective values by the given percentage. So the new ratio will be 2 plus 15%. You should be doing it mentally. 2 plus 15% will be 2.3. 3 plus 10% will be 3.3, and 5 plus 20%. 5 plus 20% will be 6, right? 15% of 2. 15% of 2 will be 0.3. Again, this calculation is what is important, right? If you cannot find out 15% of 2 mentally, orally, then it's difficult. 15% of 2 is 0.3. So 2 plus 0.3 is 2.3. 10% of 3 is 0.3 again. So 3 plus 0.3 is 3.3. 20% of 5 is 1. 20% is 1/5. 1/5 of 5 is 1. So 5 plus 1 is 6. So the ratio is 2.3 to 3.3 to 6, or 23, 33, 60. 23, 33, 60, option 3. Okay, try this one now. The question on simple and compound interest. The simple interest accrued on an amount of rupees 22,500 at the end of 4 years is rupees 10,800. What would be the compound interest on the same amount at the same rate at the end of 2 years? Now, you need to do a little bit of calculation here. I'll leave you with this for 1 minute. Let's see how many of you get the right answer. Simple interest on an amount of 22,500 at the end of 4 years is 10,800. What would be the compound interest on the same amount at the end of 2 years? Got it? $5,724, option 2. I think most of you have got 5,724. All right, let's take it up. The simple interest accrued on an amount of rupees 22,500 at the end of 4 years is rupees 10,800. Meaning this is the principal amount, 22,500, right? This 4 years is the time period, right? And 10,800 is the simple interest. So we know the principal amount, the time period, and the simple interest. Can you find out the rate of interest? Yes. So the first step would be to find the rate of interest, if this is the simple interest condition. Then what would be the compound interest on the same amount, meaning the same principal amount at the same rate, whatever rate we get here in this case, at the end of 2 years. The new time period is 2 years. So first and foremost, let us work on finding out the rate of interest. You know what is the formula for simple interest, right? PTR by 100, right? PTR by 100. So just use SI equals to PTR by 100 and get the value of R. Or you can do the calculation mentally also. See, all you have to find out is 10,800 is what percentage of 22,500. Right, the total simple interest will be 10,800 is what percentage of 22,500. Okay, and then based on that, whatever interest you get, you divide by 4 to get the yearly rate of interest. Right, so that calculation needs to be done. Or you can simply say 10,800 is equal to 22,500 into 4 into R by 100. So the calculation is your lookout. R would come out to be what? I mean, I am not used to this calculation. I'll rather go by percentage. So 22,500, right? 10,800. So that will be 2,250 into 4 is 9,000, and then we have 1,800. So that's gonna be 48%. 48% by 4 is 12%. So R comes out to be 12%. 12% per annum. The rate of interest is 12% per annum. Then we have to find out the compound interest on the same amount at the same rate of interest. Now, if you have gone through our videos, you would know how to get the calculation of compound interest, right? CI, compound interest, is given by effective rate of interest. A plus B plus AB by 100. No need to use the formula P into 1 plus R by 100 whole to the power of T. That calculation is not required. A simple and straightforward way of calculating compound interest is to go by the effective percentage concept. A is the rate of interest for the first year, B is the rate of interest for the second year. Now I know that the rate of interest is 12% per annum, and it is fixed. It is fixed at 12% per annum, meaning first year, second year, third year, every year the rate is going to be 12. So A is equal to 12 and B also is equal to 12. Now simplify, what happens? 12 plus 12 plus 12 into 12 by 100. Again, when you do the calculation, 12 plus 12 is 24. This will be 12 into 12, 144 by 100, 1.44. 24 plus 1.44 is 25.44. So I know that the compound interest is 25.44%. 25.44%. 25.44% of what? It is going to be 25.44% of the principal amount, 22,500. 25.44% of 22,500. And that calculation, see, 25% of 22,000 is approximately 5,500. 25, I mean, actually, exactly 5,500. 25% of 22,000 is 5,500. Answer should be more than 5,500, slightly more than 5,500. You know that option 1, option 3, option 4 are straight away eliminated. Either fifth option, none of this, or second option, 5724. If you are confident or if you want to take a chance by marking option 2, go ahead with that. Or else do the complete calculation. You will get the answer as 5724. Remember, there is a risk. If you are taking a chance, the risk is answer could be 5736 or maybe 5744. If it is 5744, then none of this will become correct, right? But based on the first 4 options, I think option 2 is the only choice that we have. Okay, calculation you can do 25.44% of 22,500. Right? I mean, elimination of options can be done in various other ways also. For example, if SI for 4 years is 10,800, then SI for 2 years will be how much? 5,400. It's obvious that the simple test is 5,400. Compound test for 2 years will be more than that. Will be greater than 5,400. Now, it will not be so high that it becomes 16,000 or it becomes 28,000 or it becomes 8,586. It will be more than 5,400. Option 2 seems to be appropriate. Suppose if fifth option were also a numerical value instead of none of this, and if you can eliminate that, then you need not do this calculation as well, right? Based on the range of the answer, we can mark option 2 directly here. Okay? Based on the range of the answer, we know that it should be in the range of 5,400, something more than 5,400. Just go ahead with that. What would be challenging is if all the options are in the range of 5,700, 5,800 and so on. Suppose this option is given as 5,908. This option is, let's say, 5,624. This option is 5,586. Then it will be really challenging because we cannot eliminate the options directly. You'll have to do the calculation. In that case also, maybe you can do the calculation based on the difference. You know how to calculate the difference, right? Difference between SI and CI for 2 years. Do you know the formula? You know the formula, right? The calculation is this: P equals to D into 100 square by R square. Or D can be taken as, from this we can say the difference can be taken as P into R square by 100 square. So what you can do is, you have found the rate of interest 12, substitute 12 here in place of R, substitute 22,500 in place of P, and find out what is going to be the difference between SI and CI. Add that difference to the simple interest of 5,400. You will get the answer as 5724 directly. So there are multiple ways of solving the question. It all depends on what type of options are given to you, right? You have to be really precise or try to be doing a proper solution if the options are really close, right? But if the options are spaced out, like how it is given in this case, then you can always eliminate the wrong answers easily. Okay? But the idea of finding out compound interest using effective percentage is very, very important. It may not be useful in this particular question, but you should know that compound interest can be calculated using effective percentage, A plus B plus AB by 100, where A is the rate of interest for the first year and B is the rate of interest for the second year. I think let's all these are simple calculation questions actually, percentages, partnerships, mensuration, time and distance, time and work, etc. Try this one on permutations and combinations. A basket contains 4 red, 5 blue and 3 green marbles. If 3 marbles are picked at random, what is the probability that either all are green or all are red? Vivek Devnath says, please explain the percentage concept. Vivek, I think you can sign up for our free coaching. There we have explained that concept very clearly. The percentage concept for simple and compound interest. Correct. Option 4, did you all get 1 by 44? Sayud says it should be 7 by 12. Alright, let's take this up. What does it say? A basket contains 4 red, 5 blue and 3 green marbles. If 3 are picked at random, what is the probability that either all are green or all are red? Or, the OR rule, right? This is the addition rule of probability. What does the addition rule of probability says? See, we have to find a probability of all green or all red. So according to the addition rule of probability, probability of all green or all red is equal to probability of all green plus probability of all red. Right? Now, what are you doing? You're choosing 3 marbles at random. Right? If you want all of them to be green, the only choice is you choose all these 3. So that can be done in 3C3 ways. There are 3 green marbles, you have to choose all 3 of them. So out of 3, choose 3. 3C3. Divided by, what's the total number of marbles? 4 plus 5, 9. 9 plus 3, 12. Right? 4, 5, 9. 9 plus 3, 12. Out of 12, you choose 3. You understand? Probability of choosing all green marbles. You know that probability is number of desired ways divided by total number of ways. Number of desired output or number of ways in which you can get the desired output by total number of outputs. So the number of ways in which I can get the desired output is 3C3. Total number of outputs is 12C3. Right? Do the same thing for all red. Now in this case, what happens if you want all the marbles to be red? You have got 4 marbles here. You have to choose any 3 of these 4. Yes or no? We are choosing only 3 marbles at random. So I have to choose, my choice now is limited to 4 marbles. Out of these 4, I have to choose 3. That can be done in 4C3 ways. Divide by total number of choices, 12C3 again. All green or all red. So 3C3 by 12C3 plus 4C3 by 12C3. Or it can be further simplified as 3C3 plus 4C3. 3C3 plus 4C3 divided by 12C3. Now do the calculation. What is 3C3? 3C3 is 1. Right? NCN is 1. There are 3 marbles. You have to choose all 3. It can be done in one way only. Right? What is 4C3? 4. So 1 plus 4 upon 12C3. What is 12C3? 12 into 11 into 10 divided by 3 into 2 into 1. So this goes 2 times. So overall the answer will be 1 plus 4, 5 divided by 2 into 11, 22 into 10, 220. Which is 1 upon 44. 1 upon 44, option 4 will be the final answer. And please cut down the number of steps. For example, this step that we have put on paper here, all green or all red equals to probability of all green plus probability of all red, is not required. Right? In fact, you need not write this also on paper. Directly write 3C3 plus 4C3 by 12C3 and start simplifying from there. Simple. The more you put on paper, the more time it takes. So cut down the number of steps. Okay, so there's some confusion here. Some of you got a wrong answer by doing something here. Dhyane says, I did 3 by 12 plus 4 by 12, 7 by 12. I have done it in this way. Is it wrong? Chakrabarti says, I also did it in the same way. Where did I go wrong? Guys, you have to get your basics right. It is not 3 out of 12. It is 3C3 out of 12C3. You understand? If you are choosing only one marble, then you can take 3 by 12. Then also, ideally, it is 3C1 by 12C1, which comes out to be 3 by 12. Eventually, it comes out to be 3 by 12, right? So, Dhyanesh and others who are doing 3 by 12 plus 4 by 12 equals to 7 by 12, I think the question has been framed very intelligently, right? I mean, option 2, 7 by 12 is there for people like you, because you will mark it as 7 by 12. Yeah? It is not 3 upon 12. What is probability? Probability is the number of ways in which you get the desired output divided by the total number of ways. Now, what is the desired output? I want all the 3 marbles to be red. What is the number of red marbles that we have? 3. Out of these 3 red marbles, you have to choose 3 red marbles. You are saying that can be done in 3 ways. I am saying that can be done in 3C3 ways. What is 3C3? 1. What do you mean by one way? See, if there are 3 red marbles and I have to choose 3 of them, there is only one way. I have to choose all 3. The only way out is choose all 3. That's the way. Do I have any choice? No, I don't have any choice. So 3C3 is the right numerator. You cannot take it as 3. It is 3C3 divided by 12C3. What is the 12C3 here? There are total 12 marbles available. I have to choose 3 of them. That can be done in 12C3 ways. You're getting it? Likewise, when you have to choose, okay, I think 3 was not the red, 3 was the number of green marbles. When you have 4 green marbles, then you choose 3 of them. There are four red marbles. You have to choose 3 of them. That can be done in 4C3 ways. Now 4C3 came out to be 4, right? What does that 4 indicate? See, this getting the numerical value is one thing, but you also have to understand the concept, right? 4C3 came out to be 4. 4C3 is 4, right? NC, n minus 1 is equal to n. So 4C3 is 4. What does that 4 mean? There were 4 red marbles. I have to choose any 3 of them. That can be done in 4 ways. So I can choose the first, second, third marble. I can choose the second, third, fourth marble, right? I can choose the third, fourth, first marble, and maybe I can choose the first, second, fourth marble. These are the only 4 ways possible, right? Or do it in a different way, right? I have to choose only 3. I have to leave any one. I can leave the first one, or I can leave the second one, or I can leave the third one, or I can leave the fourth one. I'll get the remaining 3. So there are 4 ways in which I can choose 3 marbles out of 4 marbles. So, I mean, this is the whole concept behind solving this one, right? So don't take it as 3 plus 4 by 12. It is not 3 plus 4 by 12. It is 3C3 plus 4C3 by 12C3. Okay, I think simple. Go watch the videos on probability and permutations and combinations. All your doubts will be clarified automatically. It's a simple one. Don't get confused. Should we move on to the next question? Okay, here's the next one. This is on allegations and mixtures. The amount of water in milliliters that should be added to reduce 9 ml lotion containing 50% alcohol to a lotion containing 30% alcohol. Try it. How much water should be added to reduce a 9 ml lotion which contains 50% alcohol to a lotion that contains 30% alcohol? Got it? There are 2 ways to solve these questions. Either go by the allegation rule or simply write an equation and get the answer. (6 ml), did you all get that? Option 4. Yeah, I think most of you have got 6 ml, right? In fact, all of you have got 6 ml so far. Good. Let's take this up. The amount of water in ml that should be added to reduce 9 ml lotion containing 50% alcohol to a lotion containing 30% alcohol. Now, don't get confused by this word reduce here. Reduce only means you are reducing the concentration. See, there is a 9 ml lotion. The quantity of the lotion is 9 ml, which has 50% alcohol. You want that concentration of 50% to reduce to 30%. 50% alcohol concentration will become 30% alcohol, right? The percentage of alcohol originally is 50%. It should become 30%. That's what this word reduce indicates, right? We are not reducing the quantity. Don't get confused. We are not reducing the quantity 9 ml. We are only reducing the concentration. It was 50% alcohol earlier. After adding some water, it should become 30% alcohol. The simple way of solving this is in one step is this. We know that the quantity is 9 ml. Which and it contains 50% alcohol. So what's the quantity of alcohol? What's the quantity of alcohol? 50% of 9. How much is that? 4.5 ml. Yes or no? Meaning out of this 9 ml, 4.5 is alcohol and the other 4.5 is water. Right? Now, after adding water, the overall quantity of lotion will increase. The quantity of water will increase. But the quantity of alcohol remains the same. Understand? The concentration is reducing. The concentration will reduce from 50 to 30, but the quantity remains the same. The quantity remains the same. The quantity of alcohol is not changing, right? We are not removing alcohol or adding alcohol. We are only adding water. So quantity will remain same, meaning this 4.5 ml will remain 4.5 only. Even after the change, the quantity will remain 4.5. But then 4.5 will become 30%. 4.5 ml indicates 30% of the new quantity. This is the total quantity. See, this is the original quantity, right? Old quantity. 9 ml is the old quantity. 50% of the old quantity has now become 30% of the new quantity. So if 4.5 ml is 30%, what is this? It should come out to be 15 ml. When you solve this, what is Q1? Q1 comes out to be 4.5 divided by 30 into 100. It comes out to be 15. Meaning the new quantity is 15 ml. The original quantity was 9 ml lotion. Now the new quantity is 15 ml. How much water has been added? 9 ml has become 15 ml. Meaning difference 6 ml water has been added. Yes or no? It is 9 ml original quantity plus 6 ml water. I mean, I am explaining so much, but this is a very simple one. You just have to, I mean, you can do it mentally in my view. 6 ml option 4 is the answer. 6 ml option 4 is going to be the answer. What we are trying to do here is the quantity of alcohol remains the same. The concept that we have used here is quantity of alcohol, right? Quantity of alcohol remains constant. That is not changing, right? So 6 ml option 4 will be the answer. Okay, one question from time and work, and then we'll move to some questions on simplifications and approximations. Here we go. This is a question. Try this out. 8 men can complete a work in 14 days. They started the work, and after 2 days, 2 men left. In how many days will the work be completed by remaining men? Now I'll tell you what smart students would do, right? You see, we know that 8 men can complete a work in 14 days. 8 men can do it in 14 days. They started the work, but after 2 days, 2 men left. In how many days will the work be completed by the remaining men? In how many days will the work be completed by the remaining men? See, try to understand. Out of this 14 days, they have only worked for 2 days. They started the work and they worked for 2 days. After 2 days, 2 men left. So it's obvious that if 2 men have left, see, I'm splitting 14 days into 2 parts. First 2 days and last 12 days, right? Suppose there is no change in the number of men. If these 2 men don't leave, what happens? First 2 days of work is over. After that, 12 days are required because total requirement is 14 days. After the first 2 days are over, 12 more days are required if there is no change in the workforce. But here the change is there in the workforce. After 2 days, 2 men leave. If number of men leave, the time required will be more. If 2 men have left the group, you need more time to finish the work. So answer should be more than 12. For the remaining men, it will take more than 12 days. Because now their strength is reduced, right? If the strength is reduced, time required will be more. So answer should be more than 12. Answer has to be more than 12, which means option 1, option 2 and option 4 are wrong. It should either be 16 days or fifth option, none of this. Now, unfortunately here, because fifth option is none of this, you'll have to do the calculation to find out what exactly is the answer. It can be 16, it can be 14, it can be 20, 15, whatever it is, right? We don't know. But suppose fifth option is also a numerical value. And if you know that that also does not satisfy the range. Again, this is about range, right? I know that the answer should be more than more than 12. I know that the correct answer should be more than 12 because if there is no change in the workforce, then it will be 12 days. Here the workforce is reduced, 2 men have left. So it will take more than 12 days. Only one option satisfies, excluding fifth option, none of this. Yeah. So this thinking is important. This divergent thinking is important where you can eliminate the options just by looking at the question and understanding the data there. If you can do that, your job becomes really easy. Let's say you have to answer 5 questions in the last 2 minutes, right? Last 2 or 3 minutes. Instead of solving every question, see, if you start solving every question, then it may take longer. But if you eliminate the options this way and just take a risk of marking option 3 16 days, or likewise if you proceed, there are higher chances that you'll score more than solving every question. Yeah. Again, I don't suggest that you do it for every question asked in the exam there, but when you have facing the time crunch or you want to quickly move to the next section without wasting too much of your time here, maybe you can take a chance here and there. Yeah. But if all the options are greater than 12 in the exam, then you can't do anything. Then you'll have to actually solve it. Now solve this question, how do you do? Actual solution will be done in how exactly will you do the actual solution? Simple. You write the work equation. 8 men can do in 14 days. So the work is 8 into 14. Right? You know that the work is equal to number of men into number of days. This should be equal to, they started the work, meaning 8 men worked for 2 days without any change. After that, 2 men left. So now there are only 6 men. For how many days should they work? As simple as that. 8 men work for 14 days to complete the total work. Now they started the work actually, they worked only for 2 days. So 8 men worked for 2 days. After that, 2 men left. So if 2 men have left, there are only 6 men remaining now. These 6 men will take how many days to finish the work? Simplify. So 8 into 14 minus 8 into 2, that will be 8 into 12 divided by 6 equal to what? 8 to 16. Option 3 is the answer. See, actual solution also doesn't take more than 10-15 seconds, but you know, you should be able to eliminate the options easily. You should have that idea of eliminating the options. Okay. Calculation is very, very important. Should we move on to the next one now? Okay, let's take up a few questions on simplifications. Again, easy ones, but many of us make it complicated or time consuming by the procedure that we follow. So try to cut down the number of steps and then keep it easy. So we'll solve 2 or 3 simplifications questions, and then there is a question on data interpretation, which we will take up towards the end. So here's the first question on simplifications. Quick. Got the answer? Simple. Find out what comes in place of question mark. Now read it properly, right? The bottommost principle has to be followed very strictly. Otherwise, you may, commit unnecessary errors. So the denominator is what? 13 times 13 minus 156. So 13 into 13 is 169. 169 minus 156 will be 13 here. So the denominator comes out to be 13. Now this is like this: 5 plus question mark into 19 minus 15 minus 7 is minus 22. Divided by denominator is 13 equals to 6. Simplify. 13 into 6 is 78. 78 plus 22. 78 plus 22 is 100. 100 minus 5 is 95. 95 by 19 will be 5. Option 3 is the answer. Right? Do not put pen on paper. Again, simple addition and subtraction. I mean, we all wish that such questions are asked in the real exam also, but they have asked such questions in the actual exams as well. Now what you have to do is, I think, simple. Try to go by the range. I'm sure options can be eliminated. Yeah. I mean, do you think the answer will be in the range of 28,000 or 26,000? Just verify that. See, it's like this, right? Do a rough calculation very quickly. 36,000 plus 12,000 is 48,000. 48,000 minus 44,000 is 4,000. 4,000 plus 21,000 is 25,000. So yeah, it will be around 25,000 or so. So 1,14,485, 1,14,045 are all incorrect. Okay. Now quickly solve. You want to verify the unit place? 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. 13 minus 2 is 11. So yeah, unit place is going to be 1. So now do the calculation. See, there are a number of ways of doing it. I mean, either you can do digit by digit calculation, or you can add 10,000s and then thousands and then hundreds, then tens and then ones, right? Either ways you'll get the answer there. Okay. What do you mean by digit calculation? See, always do it from right to left, meaning from units place to tens place to hundreds place and so on. Digit by digit calculation, right? Don't add 3 plus 1 plus 2 minus 4. It will be an incorrect solution, right? I mean, it may lead to an incorrect solution. Add the unit places first. So 5 plus 3, 8, 8 plus 5, 13, 13 minus 2 is 11. So 1 comes, the answer ends with 1. And there is a carry forward of 1. We got 11, right? There is a carry forward of 1. Let me tell you something before I proceed. There will be some of you who try to do this in the exam. 3, 6, 8, 5, 6, 1, 2, 4, 7, 3, 2, 1, 0, 4, 5. You may or may not accept here, but I'm sure there are many who follow this in the exam. Minus 4, 4, 1, 0, 2. If this is what you're going to do in the exam to get the answer, you better don't go for the exam. because I'm sure you will not be able to beat the competition. If this is what you're going to do, please forget about being in the top category, which will get a call for the next round. Right? This is a useless method. I mean, not a useless method, the correct procedure, but we need not rewrite everything and waste our time, right? What are we, see, the idea is simple. Even if you write like this, what are you going to do? You're going to add 5 plus 3 plus 5 minus 2. I'm doing the same thing, 5 plus 3 plus 5 minus 2. So keep it simple and smart, right? Instead of writing it again and doing the same calculation, do it directly digit by digit. So I'll write 1 here and 1 carries forward, right? That's what we have done. We got 11, we are taking 1 in the answer and moving 1 forward. Then 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 7, 14. 14 plus 4, 18. 18 minus 0 is 18. So 18 the answer, and now again 1 gets carried forward. So it should end with 81. Both the options satisfy so far. Then 100th place. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. 13 plus 0 is 13. And 13 minus 1 is 12. So 2 in the answer, and now 1 gets carried forward. So it should end with 281. Option 2 is also eliminated. Now, since 5th option is none of this, we'll have to proceed and do the complete calculation. But if 5th option also can be eliminated somehow, if it's a numerical value, then you know option 3 is the answer. Go for the thousands place calculation. 1 plus 6, 7 plus 2, 8 plus 1, 9 minus 4. 9 minus 4, 7 plus 2, okay, sorry, 7 plus 2, 9. 9 plus 1, 10. 10 minus 4 is 8. Sorry, I'm so sorry. 10 minus 4 is 6. And then the last calculation. 3 plus 1, 4. 4 plus 2. Or 4 minus 4 is 0, and then 2. 26 to 81 will be the answer. Option 3. Similar calculation with decimals here. Do digit by digit again. If you don't want to deal with any complexity, just do digit by digit calculation, right? But remember, move from right to left. Move from units place to the higher values. So 6 and 6 and 6. Remember, when you're dealing with decimal values, right? Decimal numbers, right? Make sure that the number of digits after decimal are all balanced. Here we have 66, 66, 66. Here it's an integer, right? So write it as 00, 0.00 and then 66. So that you don't end up committing an error, right? It is not 6, it is 6.00. Technically it is the same, 6.00 and 6 is the same, but when you're adding digit by digit, it comes handy. So 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 0 plus 6. That's how you should do it. Or if you can do the decimal calculation easily, 0.66, 0.66, 0.66, will be 1.98, and then 0.66 will be 2.64. All are 0.66, right? So that's another easy way of doing it. 4 into 0.66. That is going to be 2.64. So the answer should end with 0.64. 0.64, 0.64, 0.64. This is eliminated. Now add the remaining things. 666, 66, 6, 6. You're able to follow. What we are doing here in every calculation is breaking it into parts and then doing it individually. Okay. So do the calculation, right? I mean, 660 plus 60 is 720. 720, yeah. Then add the unit places. 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, 24. 720 plus 24, 740. 744 plus 2.64. 746.64. What do you do? Mixed fractions here, simplify them. 12 3 by 5 minus 5 2 by 5 divided by 5 3 by 70. We have discussed in our videos, right? When you have additions and subtractions involved in mixed fractions, it's easier to do the integer calculation first. I mean, integer calculation separately and fraction based calculation separately. So 12 minus 5 is 7, and 3 by 5 minus 2 by 5 is 1 by 5. So the numerator will be 7 1 by 5. You're getting it? 12 minus 5, 7. 3 by 5 minus 2 by 5 is 1 by 5. Divided by 5 3 by 70. Now, of course, you'll have to, now since this is divisions or multiplications, you have to convert it to an improper fraction and then simplify. So this will become what? 7 1 by 5 is 36 by 5 into, say this is 570s is 350, 350 plus 3, 353. 353 by 70. When you take it to the denominator, it becomes 70 by 353. Yeah. So 350 is all there. Simplify now. This was how many times? 14 times. So 36 into 14. 36 into 14. So 360 plus 144. that will be 504 by 353. So 1 point something actually, right? I can say 1, I mean, you understand, 350, 504 should be split as 353 plus what? 353 plus what will give you 504. So I think, yeah, 151 by 151. So 350 by 353 is 1 and 151 by 153, 353. Option 3 has to be the answer. You getting it? Trust me guys, I know these questions look silly when we solve, but think of what you actually do in the exam, right? What we do here and what we do in the exam usually turns out to be different, because there we don't want to take a chance and we end up writing all these steps on paper. That's what I want you all to practice on, right? There is no other shortcut. There is no better way of scoring more in quantitative aptitude other than improving your numerical skills. If you can play with numbers, whether it's additions or subtractions or multiplications or for that matter division, you will automatically see an improvement in your score, right? And I think the most useful idea is split and merge. Any type of calculation, whether it involves addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, it's all about split and merge, right? Try to split the number in a way that your calculation becomes easy. Take for example, 504 by 353. Try to break 504 in terms of 353 plus something, right? Or even when you're doing a, like let's say a full division, right? Like 1422 divided by 36. Randomly, right? 1422 divided by 36. Now I think what I would do is 1440 minus what did I say? 1422, right? So 1440 minus 18 by 36. 1440 by 36 is 40, 18 by 36.5, answer will be 39.5. Believe me, I am doing the calculation on the spot. Don't be under an impression that I had already practiced this one and just throwing it here. No. 1440 by 1422 by 36 is the calculation. Why did we break 1422 as 1440 minus 18? Why not 1400 plus 22? Or why not 1000 plus 422? Because I know that 36 into 40 is 1440. 36 into 10 is 360. Into 20 is 720. 720 into 2 is 1440. You getting it? It's a very, very simple hack. You just have to break the numerator in terms of the denominator. In terms of a multiple or a submultiple of denominator. And then things become easy. The same 1422, if you break as 1400 plus 22, you may not be getting the answer. Yeah. Likewise, let's say what is 1536 by 36, for example, 1536. Now don't start cancelling by 2, right? 1536 by 36. So 718 by 18 or 359 by 9 and so on. No, that's the most time consuming way of doing a division, right? I mean, usually we were taught that when you remove the common part in both numerator and denominator, it becomes easy. Yes, it does become easy, but removing that common part is going to be time consuming, which we cannot afford in the exam. So what do? Take it as it is and break it. I forgot the calculation. What did I say? 1536 by 36, right? 1536 by 36. Now how do you want to break 1536 is the question. Taking it as 1500 plus 36 is not going to help. Because what is 1500 by 36? We do not know. 36 by 36 is 1, but what is 1500 by 36 is not easy. A major part of that should be a multiple of 36. So 360, 720, did I take 36 again? Yeah. So 1440. So again you say 1440 plus 96. 1440 plus 96. 1536 for me is 1440 plus 96. Because 1440 by 36 is 40. 96 by 36. Now I cannot simplify 96 by 36. I mean, it will give you a non-integer value, right? 96 by 36. Yeah. 2 point something. 2 point something. I think 2.66 to be precise, because 108 by 36 is 3. 108 minus 12 is 96. And 12 by 36 is 0.33. So 3 minus 0.33 will give you 2.66. So 42.66 is the answer. 42.66 is the answer. Yeah. So what I am trying to tell you is, if you can practice on your numbers on a daily basis, you just have to choose numbers randomly and practice. Things will automatically get easy. Yeah. Chalo, let's deal with some data interpretation before we close the session. Yeah, I have only one question here. We'll meet again, and I think I have been looking at some comments here. Some of you want us to take more, augment the level and increase the difficulty level of the questions. for that you have to join our IBPS PO sessions or IBPS clerk sessions, right? We are dealing with an RRB examination. I know it's a main exam, but still the type of questions that are asked are usually in line with what we are solving here, right? And even if the question is, I mean, the difficulty level of course can be taken up. We can deal with more and more difficult questions, but irrespective of the difficulty level, the shortcut is the same. You should be quick in calculations. Yeah. So practice on that more importantly. I'm sure you'll be able to answer difficult ones also if time is not a constraint. Okay, so one question on data interpretation, I think it's a simple table which talks about percentage of marks of 7 students in 5 different subjects. So I'll present the data first, try to observe it for 15-20 seconds, and then we will look at the individual questions. Here's the data. Got it? Okay. Now look at this. Percentage of marks obtained by 7 students in each section in a competitive exam question paper. So 7 students here, P, Z, T, N, M, A, S. Subjects are English, Quants, Reasoning, Computers and Economics. And maximum marks are given. You see subject and maximum marks. What is given in the brackets here is the maximum marks. Maximum that you can score in each of the subjects. So English is 30 marks, Quant is for 50 marks, Reasoning is for 40 marks, Computers for 20 marks, and Economics is for 60 marks. And what is given here? What are all these numbers? These are percentage of marks. Be careful, percentage of marks. How much did P score in English? It's not 70. He scored 70%. 70% of what? 30, which is 21. Easy calculation, right? How much did, let's say, M score in Reasoning? M scored 70%. If in Reasoning, 70% of what? 40, which is 28. How much did, let's say, T score in Quant? T scored 95% of 50, right? 95% of 50. So we may have to deal with converting these percentages to the absolute marks, right? Converting percentage of marks into the actual marks. That may be required from question to question. So now some of you will have this question in mind. In such cases, should I always convert the marks first? Should I get the actual marks first? No. Because doing that would take what, good 2-3 minutes of your time. There are 7 times 5, 35 calculations that you need to do. Even if each calculation takes 5 seconds, 35 times 5, 175 seconds. Meaning you'll have to spend close to 3 minutes in just doing those calculations. And all of those may not be required. So if the question is actually requiring us to convert these to marks, we will do it. Otherwise we'll not. Okay? So don't have such weird ideas in your mind that you'll first convert percentage of marks to actual marks. That's not the best way to approach a DI based question. Now look at this. Now I'm sure your numerical skills are going to be very, very useful in solving such questions. Look at this one. What are the total marks obtained by N in the examination? Total marks obtained by N in the examination. So you have to do this particular calculation. Now you can't add the percentages directly. You have to convert the percentages to actual marks and then find out the total marks. 70% of 30. You're getting it? So what you'll have to do now is convert this percentages to actual marks. 70% of 30 is 21. 88% of 50 is going to be 44. 75% of 40 is 30. 70% of 20 is going to be 14. And 80% of 60 is going to be 48. Add these and we'll get the answer. If I go by units place, it will be 1 plus 4, 5, 5 plus 4, 9, 9 plus 8, 7. Answer should end with 7. 3 options end with 7 here. Anyway, let's do the calculations. 21 plus 44 is 65. 65 plus 30 is 95. 95 plus 14 is 109. 109 plus 48 is 147. Sorry, 157. Option 2 should be the answer. Simple. There's nothing else to be done. It's not a lengthy question. This one should take about 20 or 25 seconds maximum. 25 seconds also is on a higher side. Get the actual marks and then add up. Yeah. Or maybe you can add intelligently by, I have added 21 to 44 directly, but if you want to keep it easier, add 21 to 14 because that gives you 35. So numbers ending in 5, numbers ending in 0 are easier to add. So 21 plus 14 is 35. 35 plus 30 is 65. 65 plus 44 will be 109. 109 plus 48, 157. Anyway, go to the next one. What is the overall percentage of T? Overall percentage of T. Again, you can't play with percentages directly. Overall percentage of T meaning what? Total marks, total score by total maximum marks into 100. That's the calculation you need to do, and there is no way out. There is no shortcut. You have to find out his total score first, divide by total maximum marks, and then multiply by 100. You cannot use these percentages directly in getting the percentage of T, overall percentage of T. No approximation can be done. You have to do the calculation properly. Now, if you leave it because of too many calculations here, then I think you are not really doing the best in the exam. Because calculations, individual calculations are going to be easy. Total score, find out the actual values first. Add them up, you'll get the total score. Add these values, you'll get the total marks, and then convert to percentage. Yeah, so let me do that quickly. 80% of 30, 24, right? 95% of 50 will be 50 minus 2.5, 47.5, right? 85% of 40 will be 40 minus 6, 34, right? 60% of 20 will be 12. 55% of 60 will be 33. All these are calculations that you can also do mentally in the same amount of time, or maybe even lesser if you practice more. So total score by total maximum marks into 100. So total score. Now don't write 24 plus 47.5 plus 34 plus 12 plus 33 divided by 30 plus 50 plus 40 plus 20 plus 60, because that's a waste of time. Instead, add it directly. So 33 plus 12 is 45. 45 plus 34 is 79. 79 plus 24 will be 103. 103 plus 47.5 will be 150.5. Do it again if you want to check, right? I'll add 47.5 towards the end, right? 24 plus 34 is 58. 58 plus 12 is 70. 70 plus 33 is 103. 103 plus 47.5 is 150.5 divided by total maximum marks. What are the total maximum marks? 30 plus 50, 80. 80 plus 40, 120. 120 plus 20, 140. 140 plus 60, 180 into 100. Yes or no? 80, 120, 140, 80, 120, 140 and 60 is 200. I'm so sorry. Yeah, yes or no? 80 plus 40, 120, 120 plus 20 is 140, 140 plus 60 is 200. Yeah. Now approximately 75, because forget about 0.5 for some time. It is approximately 150 by 200. 150 by 200 is 3 by 4. 3 by 4 is 75. It should be slightly more than 75. Slightly more than 75%. So option 1 is ruled out. Option 3 is ruled out. Option 4 is also ruled out. Again, we are struck because fifth option is none of this. But option 2 looks like correct. So do the complete calculation to find out. Right? 150. So now again I told you, right? Split and merge. Always take it like split and merge. 150.5 is 150 plus 0.5. So 150 by 200 is 75%. All you have to find out is what is 0.5 by 200. See, 50 by 200 is 25%. 5 by 200 will be 2.5%. 0.5 by 200 will be 0.25%. Don't take it as 0.5. Take it as 50. If it is 50, instead of 0.5, it is 50. 50 by 200 is 25%. So 0.5. 25% by 100. 0.25. 75 plus 0.25, 75.25. Somebody is asking me, why can't we take the average of percentages? Taking the average of percentages is not wrong. It is stupid. Remember the basics. Percentages cannot be added. What is 30% plus 40%? Nobody knows. Cannot be determined. You're getting it? Because 30% is for 30 or 30% is for 40 marks, 40% is for let's say 60 marks. 30% of 30 or 30% of 40 plus 40% of 60 cannot be added. When can percentages be added? When both the percentages are referring to the same total value. You're getting it? 30% plus 40% is not 70%. 30% of 60 plus 40% of 60 is 70% of 60. Percentages cannot be added or subtracted. Basic concept. You cannot add percentages. You cannot subtract percentages. You can do that only if all the percentages are with respect to the same value. Yeah? You have to do this. There's no shortcut. Guys, there's no shortcut. If you are assuming that there's a shortcut available, no. The only shortcut, if this you think is time consuming, then there is a better way. Don't solve it. Go to the next one. Don't touch this. You read the question, you know that, okay, there are so many calculations to be done, move to the next one. That would be intelligent. If you are skipping this in like 2 seconds, you are intelligent. If you are thinking there can be a better way, no. Either skip it or solve it this way. And solving it this way also is not going to be time consuming. 40-45 seconds in my view. Look at the next one. Find the difference between P's marks and M's marks. Difference is difference between P's marks and M's marks. Meaning you have to find out the total marks of P first, then find out the total marks of M, and then take the difference of their marks. You getting it? How do you find the total marks of P? Find out the marks of P first in all the subjects. Then find the marks of M first, M in all the subjects. Then take the total of P, total of M, and subtract to get the difference. Or there is a smarter way. What is the smarter way? I'll tell you. P has got 70%, M has got 80%. P minus M. Let's take P minus M. See, difference. You should either take P minus M always or M minus P. You may get negative or positive, it doesn't matter. Let's go for P minus M. Or maybe M minus P if you think it's going to give you a positive. 80 minus 70, 85 minus 75, 70 minus 60, 65. Yeah, so maybe M minus P so that you get a positive value. Yeah, directly. M minus P. Let's calculate what is M minus P. Right? Now, instead of calculating P's marks separately and then M's marks separately and then taking the difference, I'll directly take the difference of percentages. See, 80 minus 70 can be done. A few seconds back, I told you percentages cannot be added or subtracted, but they can be added or subtracted when they are referring to the same value. Here, 80% is for 30, 70% is also for 30. So instead of calculating 80% of 30 and then 70% of 30 and then subtracting, I'll directly take 80 minus 70. What is 80 minus 70? 80 minus 70 is 10. 10% of 30 is 3 marks. 85 minus 75. M got 85%, P has got 75%. 85 minus 75, 10%. 10% of 50, 5 marks. 70 minus 60, 10% again. 10% of 40, 4 marks. 65 minus 50, M has got 65%, P has got 50%. What is the difference? 15%. 15% of 20, 3 marks. M has got 70%, P has got 65%. What is the difference? 5%. 5% of 60 is 3 marks. These are the differences in all the subjects. Now add all these differences to get the total difference. 3 plus 5, 8, plus 4, 12, plus 6, 18. 18 should be the answer, option 1. 3 plus 5, 8, plus 4, 12, plus 3, 15, plus 3, 18. Now this saves your time. Why? We did not do individual calculations. While the actual question means find the total of P, total of M, and then take the difference. We're taking the differences per subject and then adding up all the differences to get the total difference. Remember, move in one direction. Either take M minus P always or P minus M always. Right? Usually where we go wrong or where a common mistake is committed is you don't follow the direction. Always take M minus P or P minus M. Even if P minus M is giving negative values, don't worry. It's the difference. Sign does not matter. At the end, you'll get a negative answer, which means, like, let's for example, if you get minus 24. So difference is 24. And P has scored less than M. That's why it's minus 24. Okay? Randomly don't take P minus M and M minus P as you wish. So 18 should be the answer, option 1. Look at the next one. What are the average marks scored by them? Them means all these guys. What are the average marks scored by them in English section? Now, in this particular case, we have to find out the average of English. How do you get the average marks of 7 students? Find out the marks of each of the students and then take the average. Now that's the regular way of doing it. But instead, if you can find out the average percentage, I mean, don't learn it like a shortcut formula. You should understand the concept. Instead of finding out average marks, I'll take the average percentage and multiply by maximum marks to get the average marks. Now, for taking average percentage, you have to add up the percentages. Yes. Can we add the percentages in this case? Yes, because all the percentages refer to the same 30 value. Suppose this is what are the average marks scored by n, then we cannot add the percentages because all these percentages refer to different values. So horizontally you cannot add the percentages, vertically you can add the percentages. Again, don't learn horizontal and vertical as a shortcut here. Vertically you can add because all these column wise values refer to the same 30 marks. Row wise values refer to different marks, 50, 40, 20, 60 and so on. So what will a smart person do? He will not find out the marks of each student in English and then take the average. He'll find the average percentage and multiply that average percentage with 30. Do that now. So average percentage 70 plus 75 plus 80 plus 70 plus 80 plus 50 plus 60 divided by 7. Do it. If you want to keep it simple, add 75 later or add 5 later. The moment 5 comes into picture, right? See, everything else is ending in 0 except the 75. So what I'll do is I'll split 75 as 70 plus 5. Again, split and merge. 75 is not 75, it is 70 plus 5. So I'll add all these zeros first and then eventually I'll add 5. So 70 plus 70, 140 plus 80, 220 plus 70, 290 plus 80, 370 plus 50, 420 plus 60, 480 plus 5, 485. You getting it? 70, 70, 140 plus 80, 220 plus 70, 290 plus 80, 370 plus 50, 420 plus 60, 480. 480 plus 5, 485. 485 percentage is the total percentage. Divide by 7 to get the average percentage because there are 7 students. Now what is 485 by 7? I'll take it as 490 minus 7. 490 minus 5. Why am I taking 485 as 490 minus 5? Because 490 by 7 is 70 percentage. Exactly 70 percentage. Minus 5 by 7. So this is approximately 70 percentage. I mean, if I have to do an approximate calculation, I can say 70 percentage. 70 percentage of what? 30. 70% of 30 is 21. Answer should be somewhere close to 21 and slightly less than 21. See, it's actually slightly less than 70 percentage. 490 minus 5, right? Slightly less than 70 percentage. Can 21 be the answer? No. Can the answer be more than 21? No. It should be less than 21. Slightly less than 21. And it will be around 20.62. Or if you don't want to take a chance, do the complete calculation. If you are confused, if you don't want to take a risk, do the complete calculation. Are you able to follow? Average marks in English is the average of marks, but take the average percentage, multiply by maximum marks. Average percentage comes out to be approximately 70. Maximum marks 30. This is approximate calculation. Again, I'm repeating, we got 485. 485 by 7 is around 70, slightly less than 70. Or just do this. I mean, if you want to get the precise answer, right? You have done 70% of 30, then do 5 by 7 percentage of 30. I mean 5 by 7 of 30 instead. Right. 5 by 7, yeah, 5 by 7 percentage. Don't get confused. 150 by 7. 150 by 7 is how much? 21 point something divided by 100. 0.2. Something around that, you will get the answer. Okay. Next question. How many students have got 70% or more marks in the examination? You know what's the best way to solve this? Skip. I'll tell you why. How many students have got 70% or more marks in the examination? For us to be able to solve this, we should find out the percentage of marks for all the students. and then see how many of them have got 70% or more. How do you get the percentage of marks for all the students? There is no shortcut. You actually have to find out the total marks scored by P divided by the maximum marks of all the subjects into 100 and check that percentage. You're getting it? Like, how did we find out? We have found the overall percentage of T, right? You remember this calculation that we did? We have found the overall percentage of T. Likewise, overall percentage of all the students have to be calculated. What did we get the overall percentage of T? We got the overall percentage of T as 75.25. Right? T was 75.25. Overall percentage of T 75.25. Likewise, you have to calculate the overall percentage for all the candidates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One is already done. And then check how many of them have got more than 70. How many of them have got more than 70? Okay. To get the final answer. One shortcut that can be there is if a student has got more than 70% in all the subjects, then he can be considered directly. Like for example, T. See, it does not mean that if anybody has scored less than 70% in any of the subjects, will not be counted. Like for example, T, while he has scored only 60% and 55% in computers and economics, overall his score is 75.25%. So if anybody has got less than 70% in any subject, cannot be neglected, cannot be ruled out. But if somebody has got more than 70 in all the subjects, then he can be considered directly. So T is anyway in. T has got more than 70. We know that. We have done the calculation. Who can be taken up directly? N can be taken up directly because N got 70, 88, 75, 70 and 80. He has got 70 or more than 70. See, he says 70% or more marks, right? 70 or more than 70. So N has got 70 or more than 70 in all the subjects. So overall, his percentage will definitely be more than 70. Can M be considered? We don't know because in one subject he has got less than 70. So we are not sure. But given that the subject's weightage is only 20 marks, I am sure M also will come into picture. But we cannot say that definitely, right? Similarly, A, you can't say. He's got 50%, 60%, 50%. S also you can't say because 30%, 60%, 60%. Right? Z, again you cannot say. He's got 75, 80, 70 and 70. But with respect to this, the value may change. Similarly, for P, you can't say anything. So you have to calculate the percentage of P. You have to calculate the percentage of Z. You have to calculate the percentage of MAS, like how we have done for P. And then do the calculation. So I am not ready to do that. That is the reason I will skip it. I will definitely skip this question in the exam. Not because I don't know how to solve it, but because I know that this is going to be a time-consuming process. It will take at least 2 minutes for us to evaluate the entire thing. And I don't want to spend 2 minutes to score 1 mark. So one important point to be noted here is out of the 5 questions that are asked in data interpretation, 1 or 2 may be really time consuming. A lot of calculations may be involved. I'll skip those. Just skip those questions. Solve the other 3. Nobody is asking you to get 5 on 5 in DI, right? The objective is to score maximum possible in that limited time. You know what is the biggest trap in which we get caught always? You think just because I know how to solve it, I should solve it. That's where you lose your marks. I mean, you don't lose your marks, you lose your time. Many of you feel like, okay, I know how to solve it. Let me do that. And you think, okay, I'll do it in 2 minutes. But that's stupid. Spending 2 minutes to get 1 mark is stupid. Instead, solve the first 3 questions. Each took 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, right? In 2 minutes, you can get 3 marks if you solve the easier ones. So your choice of questions is very, very important. Your choice of questions is very, very important. You cannot, if you have to choose your questions wisely. If you're not wise in picking up your questions, you lose your time. Yeah, like Nilab says, lalach, na? Like they say, lalach puri pala hai. Lalach is what traps you. You feel like, okay, 1 mark mil jayega, yaar, try kar leta hu. But you're losing 2 minutes there. So always evaluate, is it worth solving, right? Only if you think it's worth solving, then do it. Otherwise, skip. See, when it was for one person, we did it. Although it took time, we did it because it was 30 seconds, 35 seconds. For TV calculator, right? 75.25%. Because I know I can do one person's calculation in about 30 seconds. But doing it for 7 persons will take 7 times 30, 210 seconds. I don't have that much time. Yeah. So evaluate whether you really need to solve it or not. Does it make sense to solve that question? And only then proceed with it. Again, your evaluation need not take 10 seconds. If you're sitting there and evaluating for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, that's a waste of time. That's a waste of time. Okay. So important, I think, choose your questions wisely, especially when it comes to the reasoning section. But even in aptitude, when you're dealing with data interpretation or simplifications or number series, you have to be very wise and quick in picking up your questions. And I would close the session with the same thought. You have to be very, very strong and quick and sharp in your calculations, right? You should be able to do 90% of the calculations without using pen and paper. Only then you'll be able to maximize your score. If it is about clearing the cutoff, all of us can do it. Cutoff will be 7, 8, 9, 10 marks. We can score. But that's not the objective, right? Your target is to maximize your score. That can happen when you play with it smartly. Okay, so I think focus on your numerical skills when it comes to aptitude, when it comes to the quantitative aptitude section. Okay, that's all from my side. We will meet again tomorrow with the reasoning ability section of the IBPS, RRB, PO and Clerks exam. Same time, 11 a.m. So do join us, right? You can also invite your friends to join us in the session and keep practicing. Until then, just practice. The more you practice, the easier it gets. Okay, by the way, we will have this series of live classes all the next 4 days. I mean, the next 3 days as well. Tomorrow will be reasoning ability. Day after tomorrow, on Thursday, we will have on Thursday we'll have the general awareness and economy paper, and on Friday we'll have the English language paper. Okay, so do join us in all the sessions and keep practicing. The more you practice, the easier it gets. That's all from my end. Thank you once again. Keep practicing and take very good care of yourselves. Bye.